Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Glamour. I'm your host Key Michel and welcome back to the show. So what is going on, everyone? I'm very happy to be back here with you all for another episode, and I also hope that everyone is having a great day thus far, as well as a great month of October. I know that the month is slowly but surely coming to an end, and I definitely hope that this month was a great month for each and every one of you all. And if it wasn't, we still have 2 months of the year left. So things can always change around for the better. And always keep that in your mindset that things can always get better no matter what. Things will always get better for you no matter what. So if it wasn't your month, always remember that things will get better. And I know some of you all may be like, Key, that kind of sounds cliche. That kind of sounds cliche, girl. But listen, it's those cliche sayings that hold a lot of truth. And that's what I realized in my very own life. A lot of these cliche sayings, they hold a lot of truth. So just always remember that things get better with time. They really do. So if it wasn't your month, always remember that things will get better with time. So I didn't mean to get too deep there, but I don't know. I felt led to say that. And so I hope that it resonated with whoever it needed to resonate with. But I wanted to come through and discuss a lifestyle topic with you all today. We haven't dived in and discussed a lifestyle topic for some time, and I wanted to do that. And I was really thinking about, okay, what should the topic be? And I instantly started to realize, all right, I have really been surrendering a lot this year. And I have really noticed the power of surrendering. And I wanted to share that with you all because I know that surrendering is a concept that isn't always as easy as it sounds, right? To surrender, to let go, to allow things to naturally come to you. But I really realized the power and even the beauty of surrendering, and I wanted to share that with you all today. So the topic for today is the power of surrendering. So surrendering, as I mentioned before, is a concept that I have been very familiar with. I would even say to myself in prior years how I needed to surrender a lot more because I noticed that when it came to certain aspects of my life, I had no issue with surrendering. But when it came to others, I had a lot of issues with surrendering. It was hard for me to surrender when it came to certain aspects of my life. It was hard for me to let go and have faith and know that things would naturally and beautifully come to me. It was just difficult for me. And I realized this year, just by surrendering and letting go, that there is so much power in surrendering. And oftentimes, when you surrender and really let go, a lot of those things that you were desiring will come to you a lot faster than you anticipated, and even a lot better than you anticipated as well. And I wanted to share a few stories with you all, and they also happen to do with thrifting. And of course, there are many different scenarios that I can share, but I know a lot of you all that tune into the show love fashion and love thrifting, so I thought you all would enjoy hearing these particular stories. So I went to the thrift store on Labor Day. There was a 50% off sale happening at a thrift store in my city called Urban Renewals that I absolutely love. They just have the best gems there, you all. The best gems. And I absolutely love that store. And my godmother told me that they were having a 50% off sale at Urban Renewals. So I said, oh, I have to check out this store today. I have to go. But I knew that the store was going to be packed. I already prepared myself for a very packed store because Urban Renewals is always packed. Even if it's not a 50% off sale, the store is always packed. So I knew that This day, it was going to be even more packed than it typically is. And I was right. But I was grateful to be there. I found a lot of amazing gems, and I always do a process of elimination after every time I thrift. And, during my process of elimination, I was really looking at this long wool coat. And it was such a stylish coat. But I found myself being really skeptical about it. I was looking at it like, it's really stylish, but would I wear this a lot? Do I really like it? Or am I just buying it because, it's on sale? And I was also looking at these buttons on the back. And I'm like, do I like these buttons? I don't really know. I don't really know if I really like these buttons on the back. And I typically will try on items that I'm really skeptical about. But because the store was so packed, I said, okay, I cannot try on items today. There was literally a herd of people surrounding the mirrors. So I'm like, okay, I cannot try on items today. So after just looking over the wool coat for some time, I decided to put it back. And I headed to the registers shortly after. And around that time, my mom met me. She was doing some errands around the area, and she met me in the store. And I was talking to her about the wool coat. And I'm saying to her, I think I should go back and see if that wool coat is there. I think I should go back and get the wool coat. And she's like, yeah, if you just put it down, it's going to still be there. So go and get the coat. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Let me go get that coat. If I keep thinking about it, let me go get that coat. Let me go get that coat. So she's holding the space of me in the line, and I go back to the section, the coat section, the jacket section, to retrieve the coat. And I'm standing in front of the section now, and I see a man standing in front of a woman, and he's taking pictures of the woman with the coat on. And I'm observing this entire scene, you all. And I am looking at the woman with the coat on, and I am thinking, 1, she has the coat on. 2, the coat looks amazing. The coat looks amazing. And I just knew when she saw the pictures, because he was taking pictures to show her how the coat was going to look, due to the fact that the store was so packed and that the mirrors, everybody was standing around the mirrors. So that was really smart of him to do as well, and also very kind. But I just knew that once he showed her those pictures, that she was going to immediately throw the coat in her cart, because the coat looked so nice, much better than I even imagined it to look. And that's exactly what happened. He showed her the picture. She immediately took off the coat so fast, and she threw that coat in her cart with a smile. And I watched it, and I'm just like, no, no, the coat, no. And it all happened so fast because I just put that coat down. So I'm walking back to the line now, and my mom was looking at me, and she's like, you didn't find the coat? You didn't get the coat? And I'm like, no, someone got the coat, and they put the coat in their cart, so I couldn't get the coat. And she's like, man, you shouldn't have put the coat back. And I'm like, I know. You don't gotta rub it in my face, girl, I know. So I'm looking down at my cart, and I'm like, well, I still found some amazing gems, and I even found this amazing coat for only $3, you all. So I was like, I found some amazing gems, and I'm really grateful. But I was really thinking about that coat. Even after I paid and I left the store, I was still thinking about that coat. I was thinking about that coat for about 45 minutes. And I was just like, man, I usually try items on, especially the items that I am skeptical about. I shouldn't have put the coat back. Man, that was such a stylish coat. And then all of a sudden, I just said, you know what? At least she found a coat that she really, really, really loved. We all, as thrifters, love that feeling when we go into a thrift store and we find a gem that truly speaks to us. And she found that gem. The way she threw the coat in her cart, the way she had this amazing smile on when she did it, she found that gem. And I said, you know what? She found that gem, and you found amazing gems as well. You need to be grateful for the gems that you found. And you will probably find a coat just like that or something better. This is what I'm telling myself in my head. I'm like, you'll probably find a coat just like that or something better. So just let this go. Let it go. Let it go. Be grateful for what you already have. Be grateful for the gems that you have, and just be happy for her that she found a gem that truly speaks to her and her personal style. So all of a sudden, I just let it all go. I just let it go. I let it go. I told myself I will find a coat just like that or something better if it's meant to be. And I just let it go. Completely let it go. So that was on a Monday. So now Thursday comes around and all of a sudden I just feel this intuitive feeling. And I feel my intuition tell me, go to the thrift store. Go to Urban Renewals. You have some time right now. You have some free time. Go to Urban Renewals. Go to Urban Renewals. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me go to Urban Renewals. I have some free time right now. Let me go to Urban Renewals. And so I go to Urban Renewals and I'm looking around and I'm looking at the coat section because, well, at first, before I went to the coat section, I went to the handbag section because I absolutely love the handbag section. And I was looking at all the amazing handbags that they had, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be a great trip. They have some great handbags. They also had some really amazing sweaters and cardigans, both in the women's section and in the men's section. That's also a thrift tip. Definitely check out the men's section for amazing sweaters. They always have some amazing sweaters and cardigans and even blazers if you're into blazers as well. And so I was finding some amazing gems, and I decided to look through the coat section. I'm just looking through the coat section. I found this really nice coat, and I'm like, wow, I found a really amazing coat. This is such a nice coat. I put the coat in my cart. I'm so grateful that I found the coat, and I'm just feeling really great about the entire thrift trip in general. And all of a sudden, as I'm looking through the racks, I stumble upon the same exact coat that I left behind and the same exact coat that the woman picked up and threw in her cart. The same exact coat. Except this coat looked a little different. It did not have the buttons in the back. And although it was still the same coat, the same style, it also looked a lot better. It just looked a lot more new and a lot more just refreshed. And I'm just thinking, wow, this is the same coat, but it looks even better. And I'm smiling. I'm holding the coat in my hand and I am smiling. I couldn't even believe that I found the same exact coat, except it didn't have the buttons in the back and it just looked even better. And I'm like, wow, I found the same exact coat. And I was just so happy. I finished the entire trip. I was feeling so good. I found even more amazing gems. I was just feeling so happy. I walked out of that store with glee, you all, smiling from ear to ear. I'm one of those people, when I'm happy, I do not hide my joy. If I'm happy, I'm going to smile and I'm just going to show it because I can't help but show it. I do not hide my joy at all. And if you're one of those people that you hide your joy, don't hide your joy. If you're happy, show it, okay? I was smiling. I just was so happy, and I left the store and I'm heading home now. And on my way home, I'm just still feeling so good. And all of a sudden, this thought comes to my mind. The only reason why you got that coat was because you surrendered. You surrendered the need and the desire for that coat. That's the only reason why you got that coat. And I said, wow, I did surrender. And I did tell myself, I will get a coat like that or I will get something better. And I did end up getting something better. But it was the same exact coat, the same brand, you all, the same style, except it did not have the buttons in the back that I was skeptical about, and it just looked a lot more new. It looked even better. Even better. So I got the same exact coat, but I got something so much better. And that's exactly what I said to myself. I'll get a coat like that, or I'll get something better. And just only a few days after I said that, I got that coat. And I realized, wow, once again, the power of surrendering. So I went to a thrift store again. There's another store I really want to share with you all. I went to a thrift store in September. And these actually both happened in September, since Labor Day is early September. But this next story happened towards the end of September. And I went to Goodwill. And I was just looking around and shopping. And there was a woman at a distance. And I could see this really, really nice sweater, kind of, showing through a lot of the gems in her cart. She had a lot of gems in her cart, but I just saw the neckline of this sweater, and I just knew, even at a distance, she was at a distance, I just knew that was a gem. I couldn't even see the entire sweater. All I could see was this unique neckline, and I just knew, oh, that's a gem. That is a gem. And I'm just looking at the gem from a distance. I'm like, man, I wish I found that gem. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, you found some amazing gems. You found a Coogi style sweater. You found some amazing gems today. And I'm like, yeah, I did find some amazing gems. And the trip just started. So I just let that sweater go. I said, let me continue my trip. And I just had a great trip that day. I ended up having great conversations with a lot of people in the store. And even as I was getting ready to pay, I was having some great conversations with people in the line as well. And that's just something that it does happen to me a lot. I end up having a lot of great conversations with people at the thrift store. But I don't know, today it was just different. I was having a lot of great conversations and the vibe was just really nice. So I was just loving it. And now I'm getting ready to be called. I'm the next person to be called, and I'm just standing there waiting patiently with my items in my hand, because there was a woman standing in front of me and she had a lot of items in her hand. She said she was just coming in to get some stuff, and she ended up, just having a lot of items in her hand, and there wasn't any carts left. And so I said, you know what? Just take my cart. I only have about, 4 items here in my cart. Just take my cart, because I couldn't stand to see her standing in front of me, with all these items overflowing in her hand. You can tell her arms was probably really hurting. And something just told me, give that woman her cart. Take your items out and you hold your items in your hand. So I was holding my items in my hand, waiting patiently to be called next. And all of a sudden, I just look over to my left. I look over to my left just to glance over at the vintage handbags that they have close to the register. They have a section of vintage handbags very close to the register, just in case any customers want to look at this section and they see anything they find as they're waiting to be called. And I was just looking over, and all of a sudden, you all, I see hanging up in that section the same exact sweater that was in that woman's cart. The same exact sweater. I guess when she was getting ready to pay, she must have said to herself, I don't want this sweater anymore. And she left it right there. So I am looking at that sweater that was in her cart, and I picked that sweater up. And I'm like, could it be? I'm like, could it be? Is it really the sweater that was in that woman's cart? And the sweater looked even better. Oh my gosh, I just knew that sweater was a gem. Even at a distance, I knew that sweater was a gem. So I picked that sweater up and I'm smiling. I am smiling. And I paid for it. I left the store and I was feeling so happy. Like, wow, I wanted that sweater, but I just let it go, and I'm just so happy. And all of a sudden, this thought comes to my mind like, yeah, the only reason why you got that sweater is because you surrendered the desire and the need for that sweater. You let it go. And I'm like, I did let it go. And so I am sharing these stories with you all because I know you all love thrifting. I know you all love fashion. But I really want you all to understand the power of surrendering. Of course, I could share other, instances in my very own personal life as well. But I know you all love fashion and thrifting. And I know you all would probably really enjoy these stories as well. But the theme here is the power of surrendering. And how when you surrender, and you surrender the need and the desire for things that you really want, how they can come to you so quickly and so miraculously and beautifully as well. That sweater was right there, close to the register. I just look over and that sweater is right there. The jacket that I wanted, I found the same exact jacket, except the jacket was better. It was better, you all, because I surrendered the need and the desire for those things. And I know it can be so hard at times in life when you really want something, and you really desire something, to let go, right? To let go that need and that desire. Maybe you're someone listening right now and you really want a home. You really want a new home. And it's just so hard for you to surrender that need and that desire for your dream home that you really want. Or maybe you're listening right now and you really want a relationship. You really want a relationship. And it's just really hard for you to surrender that need and that desire for a romantic partner, some love in your life, right? A beautiful relationship in your life. But I'm here to tell you, when you surrender that need and that desire, right, for the things that you really want, when you surrender it, right, those things will come to you, and they will come to you in a beautiful way, in a fast way, and a really miraculous way as well. I'm telling you, in a beautiful way. They will come to you in a beautiful way, and in a way that will really make you smile, and in a way that will really remind you about the power of surrendering. The power of surrendering. So maybe after this episode, write down some things that you've just been having some hard time letting go and allowing them to come to you. You just keep pondering on those things and thinking about those things and questioning if they will ever come to you. Write those things down and powerfully let them go. Confidently let them go, knowing that they will come to you. Knowing that they will come to you. And I can reassure you. I can reassure you that whatever you let go will come to you in a beautiful way. It will come to you in a beautiful way, and in a way that will make you smile, and in a way that will fill you up with so much joy. With so much joy. I know that sometimes when people think about surrendering, they think, man, like, am I just letting go of all control here? If I let go of all control, is it going to really ever happen for me? But that is the point. Just let it go. And it will come to you. Let it go. Confidently, knowing that it will come to you. There is so much power in surrendering. So much power in surrendering. And I just want you all to really understand that. And anybody that has been struggling with this, I want you all to also understand that I was once there. I was once there, you all. I was once there. I was able to surrender when it came to certain aspects of my life, but when it came to certain desires that I really, really, really wanted, it was so hard for me just to let those desires go and allow them to come to me. It was so hard, you all. But just one day I said, you know what, I got to let go. I just got to let these things go. And once I did that, so many amazing things started to come into my life. So many amazing things. So many amazing things. And I realized, wow, surrendering could even trickle down into thrifting. Even down to my thrifting experience. But there was a lesson there, right? That there's power of surrendering. Power of surrendering. So I want you all to give yourself grace. I know I always say this in a lot of the episodes, but it's so important to give yourself a lot of grace. Because maybe right now you're listening, you're like, you know what, I am struggling with surrendering. So you don't got to be hard on yourself now because you're struggling with surrendering. You don't got to be hard on yourself. Give yourself grace and know that you will get better with time. And know that I was also there as well. I was also there as well. You know, I was also there as well. So I believe, especially me knowing how hard it was for me to let certain things go and allowing myself to let those things go and realizing, wow, letting go allowed them to come to me a lot faster and in beautiful ways. I know that you all can do this as well. I really do. I believe in you all. I believe that you all can do this as well. So surrender. Surrender and know that anything that you desire will come to you, all right? Anything that you desire will come to you. Anything that you desire. So I really hope that this episode resonates with somebody out there today. I really do. And I know I got a little passionate in this episode. But honestly, you know, I could get passionate when I speak, but I could get really passionate when I'm speaking about something that I know has really changed my life. And I know it can be hard for others as well, you know, and I know that it can be hard for people to let go and just to surrender. And people can make it sound so easy, but I know, you know, it can be at times easier said than done. But when you really practice this and you really just allow yourself to confidently surrender, over time you will realize, wow, like this is a beautiful thing. And there's so much power in just letting go and allowing those desires to beautifully come to you. And I just want you all to understand that. So I really hope that this episode resonates with somebody out here today. And I want to leave you all with a couple of announcements before I officially wrap this episode up. And of course, as usual, I never write these announcements down. And I'm going to have to start doing that. But I always say that too, and I don't be writing that down. I don't know. I kind of like when the episodes are really authentic and they're just off the dome. But I'm like, girl, at least write your announcements down. But maybe I'll do that next week. We'll see. But the first announcement is that there are new gems up on the Vintage Store on the Key to Fashion website. So definitely check out the new gems. And I want to thank everyone that has been supporting the Vintage Store as well. I have been really focusing on vintage handbags, so you'll be seeing moving forward a lot more vintage handbags up on the site. So definitely check out the Vintage Store after this episode, and thank you so much to everyone for your support as well. It does mean a lot. And the next announcement is that there are new videos up on the website as well and new articles up on the website. How could I forget about that? I'm over here like, new articles, a lot of new articles up on the website as well. I actually recently wrote an article that I think you all will really enjoy, and I'm thinking about if I should dive a little deeper and do an episode. I'm thinking about if I should do an episode for Vintage Glamour. So I might do that next week. So definitely check out the latest article. You can't miss it. It's the latest article up on the website. So definitely check out the latest article and as well the latest videos up on the website as well. And I just want to say thank you. You know, I want to leave this episode with gratitude and thank you all for tuning in to the show. Thank you all for supporting the show, for sharing the show, for reaching out and telling me how the episodes really resonate with you all. I actually love when you all do that. I really do. That's purpose right there. When people reach out and they tell you, this really resonated with me, or I really, appreciated this episode, I really learned from this episode, that's purpose. And I'm all about doing purpose-driven work. I love doing fulfilling work. It just really not only fills my soul, but it just makes me smile, makes me feel good. I don't know, I just love it. So when you all reach out, I always love it. I always love connecting with you all. And I'm also able to really get to know more people as well. Get to know more of the audience as well. So I love that because I am very social and quite extroverted. Although, I'm about to go on a tangent, but whatever. Although, I have been in my introverted phase a little bit. I've been to myself, these past few months. I've been to myself. I'm still extroverted, but I've been to myself. And I said, man, maybe I should do that personality test over because I'm feeling quite introverted nowadays. So let me do that personality test over. And no, I still got the same personality. ENFJ is what I got. And I did that personality test so many times, you all, because I'm like, yeah, let me see if this is really what it is. I did that personality test so many times in prior years, and I decided to do it again this year just to check, did it change? And it's still the same thing, ENFJ. So I'm still extroverted, but I did research that is one of the most introverted, extroverted personality types, which I do agree with because I can be to myself and be one with myself, but I also love genuine bonds and social gatherings and being around other people. I love genuine bonds with other people and getting to know other people and socializing with other people. I absolutely love that. I feel like I always learn from every conversation that I have. I always hear an amazing story from other people and you learn. I just love that. I really do. I really do. I love that. So like I said, I went on a tangent. But hey, it happens. But as always, you all, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Vintage Glamour. And I hope you all have a great one. Bye now.